Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the community remembers one of the deadliest human smuggling attempts in U.S. history 22 years later.
A new tech-based effort is meant to tackle Victoria's stray animal problem. A look at how it works.
Plus, a deadly shooting leaves an Austin neighborhood stunned and 2 young teens facing charges.
Well, we've got an early season heat wave in store. As a matter of fact, now we're going to be talking about the heat index as it's going to be rising all week long. We'll have all the latest for you coming up in a moment.
And the Shiner softball team's looking to reach the state semifinals for back-to-back years if they can beat Weimer. We'll hear from some of the Lady Comanches later on in sport.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shawna Currie.
And I'm Brubaker.
Victoria County Animal Services is launching a new effort to address a growing concern, and they're needing the community's help for it to be successful.
25 News Now reporter Ray Mosley joins us live with more. Ray?
Victoria County Animal Services hopes this new idea will help with the stray animal issue in Victoria. Mark Sloat, Director of Victoria County Animal Services, has teamed up with a few national organizations to develop a sign campaign with a QR code. Here's how it works. If you see a sign and see a stray or roaming animal, just scan the QR code and provide the location and photo of the dog. The groups will use that information to track loose animals, so they know about where the strays and where the roaming animals tend to gather. Sloat says this information will help find solutions to the issue.
We want them in people's yards that are, again, in high intake areas where we see a lot of loose dogs in Victoria. Corner lots are great because we can get traffic from both sides.
If you're interested in putting a sign in your yard, you can contact Victoria County Animal Services. You can find their information on crossroadstoday.com. Hours are Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on Fridays, hours are 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. In 2023, Victoria County Animal Services have sheltered over 800 dogs and almost 500 cats. But the reality is, more than 400 animals have been euthanized. Reporting live, Ray Mosley, KAVU TV, 25 News Now.
This brings us to our viewer poll today. Are QR codes a good tool to help reduce the stray animal problem in Victoria? Yes, it's a great idea. Maybe it's worth trying it. Or no, it won't help. We want to hear from you. Visit crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, or scan the QR code there on the top right of your screen. And up about 5% from our 5 p.m. newscast, 65% of voters say it might be a good tool and it's worth trying it. So continue voting and we'll have the latest results on 25 News Now at 10. A 20-year-old Victoria man is accused of the continuous sexual abuse of a child. Investigators say Trinidad Ramon Menchaca assaulted a 13-year-old girl multiple times over a period of several months. A special agent with the Texas Department of Public Safety interviewed the teen, who said the abuse began in January. Social media messages between the two reportedly confirmed the relationship. A forensic interview also revealed that Menchaca knew the girl's age at the time. He is now being held in jail on no bond.
A Victoria woman faces 2 charges of manufacture and delivery of a controlled substance. Authorities arrested 47-year-old Vanessa Escalona. The Crossroads High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force, helped by the Victoria County Sheriff's Office SWAT team, executed a search warrant on the 2400 block of East Mimosa Avenue. Officers found over 2,000 grams of methamphetamine and over 1,300 grams of heroin. Escalona is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of $80,000 bond.
A new trial date is set for a Bloomington man accused of murder in Victoria County. Lazon Jameril Thomas Norman had a jury trial scheduled for this Thursday. That date has been moved now to August 6th, with a hearing set for July 10th. Norman was arrested last October, accused of shooting and killing Nathaniel Escobedo in the 9,800 block of Lower Mission Valley Road. Tomorrow marks 22 years since one of the deadliest human smuggling attempts in U.S. history. On May 14th, 2003, 19 undocumented immigrants died inside a packed trailer abandoned in Victoria County. The temperature inside the trailer reached 173 degrees. Among the victims, a teenager and a 5-year-old boy. Every year, families, advocates, and community members gather to honor the lives lost. This year's memorial service is Saturday, May 17th at noon near the intersection of Fleming Prairie Road and Highway 77, close to where the trailer was found.
The number of Texas measles cases rises to 717. That's a jump of 8 since last Friday. 17 cases have been reported in people who were considered fully vaccinated. There have been 93 patients hospitalized since the outbreak started. 3 new counties reported cases, including Collin County in North Texas. Most of the cases continue to be minors, with 484 being under the age of 18, and 211 of those cases were under the age of 5. ERCOT says the Texas power grid could hit record demand with a triple-digit heat wave. ERCOT expects demand to peak at 84,000 megawatts on Wednesday. Last May, we set a record with 77,000 megawatts that month. ERCOT says 1 megawatt powers about 250 homes. South Texas temperatures are forecast to soar to nearly 105 degrees. ERCOT anticipates that the power grid will handle the increased demand. They say the gigawatt supply is well above the forecasted demand. Texas' all-time record of 85.5 gigawatts was set in August 2023. And forecasters say South Texas could get hotter tomorrow than the Sahara Desert.
Well, we'll know if we want to take a trip there. Huh? Let's go to Mac Perez for our first look at that forecast. Mac?
Yeah, by comparison, you can tell the temperatures. This is a very serious looking heat wave that we're getting. Here we are in mid-May. We have heat advisories up for all the counties around us. Now, Victoria County and Goliad are not included, but you know what? It's still going to be hot, and we've got heat wave advisories for everybody in South Texas, all the way to Laredo and Del Rio. Yes, the heat index will be on the rise, getting up to about 105 later this week. We'll be talking more about that and, shall we say, adjust ourselves to the arrival of summertime. We'll have all that coming up in just a moment. Back to you.
A deadly shooting has left an entire neighborhood in shock, and now 2 children facing capital murder charges.
Neighbors are sharing their shock and concern as the community tries to make sense of what happened.
It's terrible, the whole situation.
Since we last spoke with Martin Wells about the deadly shooting that happened 1 block from his home, he tells us the neighborhood has been reeling.
You know, I'm sure everybody is more looking over their shoulder right now and wondering what the heck's going on.
Now on Monday, everyone's learning a 12-year-old and 13-year-old have been arrested by Austin police for capital murder by terrorist threat.
My mind really can't hardly go there. You know, I mean, that young of children being able to do something like that, it's just, what causes it?
Earlier this month, the Travis County Sheriff's Office got a call about a stolen car in the Sunchase neighborhood. Around the same time, Austin police also got a call about someone who had been hit by a vehicle at the intersection of Ross Road and Thome Valley Drive nearby. APD later identified the victim as 20-year-old Anthony Salas, who they say was also shot while trying to recover his family's stolen vehicle.
Everyone was kind of aware that something serious had happened, and it was just shocking and sad and confusing.
Araceli Valencia also lives nearby and says the tragedy is all her neighbors are talking about.
This is a close-knit community, and we all try to watch out for each other, and a lot of people have been here for decades.
She says these arrests are not the closure anyone wanted.
We needed accountability, and I was hoping that someone would get caught, but I just never expected and never hoped that it would be someone so young.
A bill in the legislature to overhaul the STAR test cleared the Texas House. House Bill 4 would make the test shorter and base scores on how students' performance compares to national averages. The STAR test is used by the state and school districts to monitor student learning and teacher performance. Both the House and Senate versions of the legislation would replace the STAR test with a shorter test to free up time for more instruction. Students would be tested at the beginning, middle, and end of the school year. A new Senate bill might save the troubled Texas lottery. A key critic, Senator Bob Hall, threw a lifeline to the Texas Lottery when he proposed moving its oversight to a new agency instead of eliminating it entirely. A Senate bill filed by Hall would abolish the Texas Lottery Commission and move supervision of the lottery under the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation. The bill includes a total ban on lottery couriers and online ticket sales with criminal penalties.
It is cap and gown season, and we're celebrating the stars of the stage and the classroom. Today, we congratulate Alana from Faith Academy. Grandma and Grandpa Bilton say congratulations to our precious granddaughter. We are so incredibly proud of you and excited to see all the amazing things your future holds. Shine on, girl, with love. Carlos is graduating with his diploma from Providence Christian Academy. Tina Rosales says, congratulations, Carlos. It's time to follow your dreams. Claudette Rosales has a message for Hayden from Goliad High School. Hayden, we are so proud of you. Love you so much, Nani and Popo. And Matthew is graduating from Victoria ISD Success Academy. The message to him, congratulations to Matthew. Proud of you. Love Momo, Popo, and family. Submit a photo and heartfelt message to your grad through June 13th. We are featuring our area grads on air and on social media. All you need to do is go to our contest page at crossroadstoday.com, then click the entertainment tab, select contest to submit and show your pride. And remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6, Congress debates Medicaid costs with members of both parties speaking out on the topic.
Also ahead, a bold prediction on how many Texans will be on the roads during the Memorial Day weekend.
We are getting news of an accident on Highway 59 in Jackson County involving a semi and a vehicle that has closed down at least one lane of northbound traffic in Jackson County. Emergency crews are on the scene. We're working to get additional details, and we'll have those online and on air tonight if we're able to get them.
All right, thank you. And marathon hearings today on Capitol Hill over massive proposed cuts to Medicaid. The Republican lead funding bill would cut hundreds of billions of dollars in health care for low-income and disabled Americans.
The cuts sparking infighting among Republicans. ABC's Perry Russum has the latest.
No one's going to get 100% of what we want.
House Speaker Mike Johnson today working to solve Republican in-party fighting.
I think we'll get everybody to yes.
As their proposed cuts to Medicaid divide the party. Late Sunday, Johnson unveiling their plan to cut hundreds of billions of dollars to Medicaid, fueling concerns it would leave millions of low-income and disabled Americans without care.
I continue to maintain my position. We should not be cutting Medicaid benefits.
Republican Senator Josh Hawley yesterday with an op-ed in the New York Times writing, if Congress cuts funding for Medicaid benefits, Missouri workers and their children will lose their health care and hospitals will close. It's that simple, and that pattern will replicate in states across the country.
We are struggling with rural health care coverage. And, Republicans, we need to be making that better, not worse.
Protesters today blocking the doors to one of the hearings on Capitol Hill where members of Congress dissect the proposed cuts, a critical piece of the big, beautiful bill President Trump has been asking for to fund his agenda.
With the one big, beautiful bill, we can ignite the second Trump economic boom and improve the lives of millions of our neighbors back home.
If the cuts are approved, it would go against what Trump said back in February.
Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question, okay? This will not be read my lips. It won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says the cuts would slash Medicaid more than ever before.
It's cruel. It's heartbreaking. Senate Democrats will continue to expose this devastating plan and fight for American families.
The process to approve a funding bill is still in the early stages. It has to be approved in the House, then the Senate before being signed by President Trump. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
President Donald Trump said he will move to normalize relations and lift sanctions on Syria's new government to give the country a chance at peace. To read this full AP story, visit crossroadstoday.com.
Texans are ready to travel for the Memorial Day weekend. AAA Texas predicts 3.7 million Texans will travel over the Memorial Day holiday period. That's a 3% increase from last year. This is the third straight year of record-breaking travel for this holiday statewide. AAA data shows 45.1 million Americans will travel for the holiday weekend. That's up 3.1% from last year and a new national record for this holiday period. It surpasses the previous record of 44 million set in 2005. But Mac, if people want to drive tomorrow, how hot will it be?
Well, it's a good time to check your air conditioning on your car because, or roll the windows down and let the breeze blow through because we've got some hot weather in store for us through most of this week. Right about now, we're at 88 degrees. Our high today did manage to get up to 91. 65 was the overnight low. Now, our record high is 94. And later this week, we're going to be pushing records. In fact, not only for us, but all of South, most of Texas is going to be baking over the next couple of days. We'll have more on that coming up after this. Well, good evening, everybody. These are the high temperatures that we had today. We mentioned 91 for us, but look at this. Inland areas just on the other side of Gonzales, 102 in San Antonio, 108 in Cotulla, and 109 in Del Rio. What is going on? Well, what's going on, you know, we have what's called the subtropical high. It's kind of a semi-permanent band of air that's over North America. Well, it goes south when we get winter, and when it's summer, it comes back up and really gives us a summer. Well, that's coming back up a little bit early, and that's why we're looking at this kind of a heat wave getting going. We had hardly a few clouds over the skies today. Other than that, the sea breeze, you probably noticed, started getting a little windier, and it's going to get breezy over the next couple of days. 2 areas of stormy weather, one on the east coast, one on the west coast, but for us, and pretty much the desert southwest and Texas, are going to be under that returning ridge of high pressure, and we're in for some rather hot stuff. Now, first of all, we had a north wind over the weekend. Now we're picking up the south wind, so the moisture's coming back in. We're about 50–60% along the side toward the coast. Inland areas, as you can see right here, right past Three Rivers and George West. After that, it's bone dry. That's why it's going to get so hot during the afternoon. Dry air, like in the desert, cools at night, but gets very hot in the daytime because it has very little humidity, and that's what's going to happen here. That's why their temperatures are probably 5 degrees above, maybe 10 degrees above what we get. Now, for tomorrow, or today actually, we were at 100. So it's 100 in the heat index. Is not particularly bad, but you start to feel it. Well, you start to feel it when the heat index gets up to about 105. And that's when we start telling people you're in the danger zone. You're going to perspire a lot, and if you were, perspiring too much, you might get a little woozy, a little dizzy because of the heat. So while we don't have an advisory for Victoria County, everybody else, all the way from Waco down to Austin, all the way to Del Rio and Laredo, are looking at a very hot couple of days. In fact, temperatures are going to start rising, and the humidity is going to be on the increase as well. There you see that strong south wind. That's what's bringing back the Gulf air. Aloft, however, you'll notice that the cloud decks go in the opposite direction. So, we've got air going this way and that way. And so we are, of course, looking at the high pressure that's building in and going to be giving us that hot kind of temperatures over the next couple of days. Overnight lows, well, getting down to about 70 degrees. Even the low temperatures at night are going to be on the rise. I mean, no more, cool 60s in the morning. It'll only get down to 71. And these are the high temperatures tomorrow. Get a load of that. 96 for us, 105 in San Antonio, 111 in Laredo. It's only mid-May, folks, but that's what we're going to have to be dealing with. So again, we're going to be on the hot and a little humid side. Just remember, everybody west, if you happen to have family or you're driving or something of that nature, knows it's going to be very, very warm. So here is your planner for tomorrow in Port Lavaca. Lots of sun, getting up to 88. In Cuero, lots of sun, getting up to the upper 90s. And is there any hope in sight? No. As a matter of fact, it gets like this all the way through the weekend. So yeah, it's hot time in the town this coming week, and it's time to start thinking of swimming pools and boating trips and fishing and that kind of stuff. That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. Back to you.
All right, now we send it over to Max Williams, and looks like some local athletes have solidified their plans after high school.
That's right, Shawna. We have one football player, one basketball player that made those big commitments there to the next level here today. We'll find out who those names are in a few minutes in sports. All right, Cross. So yesterday we highlighted native baseball and softball teams. Well, today we're highlighting another 2A team in the softball area, in the Shiner Lady Comanches. And again, for the Shiner Lady Comanches, they are finishing second there in district behind Ganado, and they're looking to head to the state championship game for back-to-back years. And you know, they're feeling it. They're playing a district opponent they played in Weimar, which they played twice already. They split the series there. They lost the first game against them, then they won the first game. So maybe we'll see as we caught up with a couple players, see how they feel playing them for the third time here on Thursday.
We just really got to focus in and start tuning things up more and more every single day, every single practice. Take every moment on this field and take it as far as we can as to get better and to prepare our team for success. Every single ball that's hit to me, whether it be in the air or on the ground, I make sure to take my time and to really focus on what I'm doing, my footwork especially. And
I feel really good. We have a great team. We have a lot of talent on this team, so I think we're going to do really well. Well, we played Weimar quite a bit before, and I think we know what we need to work on, and I think we're trying to do that to the best of our ability.
Now you heard there from both of those players. Again, they just want to again fix all the mechanics going in this game against Weimar. Again, the series will start there in Columbus High School there on Thursday. Now over there to some other action, the St. Joseph Lady Flyers. They're looking also to get back-to-back state champions. Well, against Hyde Park, they lost by 1 run because they were up, folks, there 10-9 there in the bottom of the 7th inning, but then Hyde Park scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th to win it. And so for the St. Joseph Lady Flyers, they unfortunately will not be able to repeat as back-to-back state champions, but they did get some participation there in the all-tournament team, and Shane Meisler, Jasmine Gomez, and Gianna Morris making there the roster for the St. Joseph Lady Flyers. And props up for a good year as well. Over to UHV softball, where they had to win to keep their postseason hopes alive, and if they lost, they would have to go home for elimination. And guess what? Against William Carey Crusaders, they could not get that done. They lost 7-1, and again, still the same as the Lady Jags. Like I said, for the Lady Flyers, great season overall. They went 29-22 in the regular season, had a great senior class as well at J.C. Bowen, Jordan Jones, Kenzie Chambers, and Alexa Wade. Now over to some big-time high school commitments in the Crossroads, where star Goliad football player and track star Lamont Franklin is going to commit to Sacramento State to play football. And Franklin still has 1 more year left, though. He's going to go in senior year, but still wanted to get that commitment out there early. But another one, though, that's out there is in women's basketball. Tori East Selena Longoria. She's heading to University of Southwest for the Southwest Mustangs, and she was a big part for East's success there this past basketball season. So wish Longoria luck there up in Southwest here in a couple of years for Franklin there in 2026 at Sacramento State. And then finally, Major League Baseball, they announced they were moving Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson, two of the sport's most famous players, were previously kicked out of baseball there, out for gambling. Guess what? They officially going to get him off the ineligible list. It's a big decision by the MLB Commissioner Rob Memphis, as he's allowed Rose to be considered into the Pro Baseball Hall of Fame. I mean, that's an honor that has been ruled out as part of the settlement reached with Major League Baseball. Rose did die, though, in September, but Ranford ruled that his lifetime ban ended with his death. And how about that? Big time news there for Pete Rose to have a chance to go back into Baseball Hall of Fame. And again, I think he really deserves it. Being a Reds fan myself, I can't wait to see if he gets there. That's going to do it here in sports. Don and Shawna, back to you.
Max, thank you. We're back in a moment. An American airline finds a new way to take luxury into the skies. We'll give you a look after the break. Finally tonight, United Airlines is giving an inside look at its new Boeing aircraft that will be used on international flights. This is the interior of United's new Dreamliner aircraft. The new plane will feature luxury studio suites For some business class travelers, the suites will have sliding doors with TVs. Business class flyers will also get to enjoy a grab-and-go snack bar. United expects to get its first Dreamliner with the new interior by the end of the year. The first international passenger flights are planned for 2026. That airline looks so nice. Some people, when they get to the airport, just may stay on the plane. Yeah, forget that. Why are we here?
Yeah,
look
that's
at
all
this.
you need. I think that's your sign to start looking at vacation spots.
Oh yes, yes. Look at what do we have here?
You didn't mention what the upgrade's going to cost.
Well, they haven't really put it out. You know.
I just flew back on United, and I didn't get one of those chairs.
Well, this is coming out later. That's in a year from now. Let us know how it is.
12 hours sitting like this. Oh boy,
fun.
Anyway, folks, the heat wave is going to be with us all week long. In fact, it's going to be hot and more humid as we get into the weekend. The only good news, the winds will be up, and that sort of helps dispel some of the heat. But otherwise, do be cautious and don't leave any two-legged or four-legged people in the back seat of the car because it's going to get very hot.
Yeah, so sudden.
Absolutely.
We're not used to it.
Oh yeah. Thank y'all, and thanks for joining us.
We'll see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Until then, have a great evening.